Hey guys, and welcome back to my part 6 of Let's Play Kirby Superstar. In this episode will be the first episode of my Let's Play Revenge of MetaKnight, which is going to be around a 3 to 4 part series in my Let's Play episode guide. So it's going to take a few days to get this finished up, but what the actual minigame plays like is one straight through cut of the entire kind of game. There's no levels per se. The action kind of stops for a bit, but it'll pick up, relatively soon after a battle ends, or what you can call a level ends. But there's no mini-map screen. It's just a similar to my first episode. But it's probably a little bit longer than that. It's about half an hour long, so about 3 to 4 episodes probably right for that. So we're gonna start right out and playing, and what you're gonna see is the Halberd, which is of course Meta Knight's kind of warship. And so we're gonna kind of hope to disrupt his plans of taking over Dreamland and put him back in his place. So our pink little guy is gonna, navigate this halberd, which is kind of really nice, really detailed backgrounds, and a really nice overall kind of personification of like a really rusty airship. So it's definitely a good starting point. You can tell that this is a little bit darker than the levels I've played before, and it's going to carry kind of that sort of theme throughout this entire Let's Play. So, facing that undefeatable boss, we kind of kicked off to the side of the ship and into the lake there. But of course, the tenacity of Kirby. That's not going to stop us for too long. So this kind of pseudo water level, kind of I guess I think it's like a sunset type deal, or unless the actual world is kind of on fire. But like I said, it's kind of it's probably the darkest of the campaigns in the game. But it's kind of a nice change from the typical bright, sunny, blue sky Kirby that we've seen so many times before. The gameplay obviously is probably not going to differ that much than what you have seen. It's still we're moving from left to right and trying to beat all the bosses and mini bosses. But it's relatively not too challenging, I want to say, but it'll still give you a run for your money. I think I do die probably a couple times, so don't be surprised by that. If it becomes too much of a problem, I'll just edit it out. And so right here you can see my little partner Gim is gonna die relatively soon, and then you just exploded right there. So I'll just make him the bird on helper and kind of continue on through that. These pineapple guys are kind of a pain in the butt. Unlike the other foes with the bombs, they are able to throw 3 at one time, which would be kind of problematic when you're trying to get past them. But it's not too much of a burden to get by, but still enough to kind of irritate you. There's not too many enemies in this game that can really mess up your day, aside from boss battles, but even generally they're not too bad until as you'll see, when some of them can double team up on you. So it's always nice to have your kind of buddy person. I mean, they don't do too much damage, but they can be enough cannon fodder that you don't have to worry about getting hit too many times. As long as they're there to take somewhat of the brunt of the attacks, then they're kind of doing a job. Might not be the job that they're kind of designed for with helping you out, but I think I can manage almost this entire game on my own. Maybe I'll do that for the next part and see if I can do the entire next part without getting a helper. might kind of break up the monotony of it and kind of prevent some of these slowdowns that you see. I'm only just playing from my laptop, so if any slowdowns do occur, I fully blame that. So we get to this part. Obviously, it's gonna be the battle before the game, or the battle before the boss. But I figured, you know, it's not gonna be too much of a challenge, and I'm right in that assumption because, as you see here, the boss from like the very first part of the game, Wispy Woods, comes back at us for round 2. But very similar to that first episode, I take very swift work of this guy and defeat him without getting hit at all. Can't do the same for my helper, but oh, what's this? We fall down and have to fight him again in 2 other forms. But still, it's kind of the same Wispy Woods that we've dealt with in the past, so I'm gonna take this alternating bomb throwing action and just kind of take very swift work of them. So that's kind of ending the first part of this episode, this first level. But as you see, we're kind of moving right on to the next part of it. See, there's no kind of transaction, there's no stopping point. It's you know, one level right after another, so I have to kind of find these breaking points and see if I can get them without finding these points without, you know, disrupting the Let's Play too much or trying to stop it too often. So I'm gonna try to stick with the 3 to 4 different kind of 3 to 4 different episodes for this little segment for Revenge of MetaKnight. I think that's gonna break it up pretty well. You see here, it's kind of the same thing. We're getting this forest, as opposed at the bottom of that mountain. This little part, it's kind of tricks you into that false sense of security. It offers you that maximum tomato. I don't even think I needed it, but you know, as being a whore for the maximum tomatoes I am, just get even like a little bit more full life. I get stuck with finding that that unlucky cannon that just kind of makes a little mess of myself and brings me down to almost less than half health, or maybe just over half of my health. But you know, I'm still making pretty easy work of all these enemies that are, you know, I'm dealing with right now. Kind of moving on. Kind of a mini boss right here with the bonkers. It's like the 2 hammer bros. These guys do tend to give me a little bit of trouble. They pack a pretty powerful punch, and they end up murdering my teammate. But as luck would have it, my teammate does kind of transforms into a bonker of himself, so I'm able to take care of him rather quickly and suck up his power for myself, because I'm a huge fan of the hammer power. It doesn't have too much of the distance unless you do the dash attack, but it's powerful enough, and I can I don't know, it just seems like a really good weapon for me. You know, just taking out enemies in like that one hit just really helps and boosts how much of these enemies you could run through, and like how fast you can do that as well. So moving on to one of the later parts of this level. Just kind of the stuff that we've seen before. This game really doesn't change too much, so maybe I should move on to something else to break up the monotony of Kirby here, but it's just such a cute game and I love to play it. It's just, there's nothing bad that I can say about a Kirby game. They're cute, they're fun, they do exactly what they're intended to do, which is be cute and fun. You know, who doesn't love hopping around your little pink guy and just kind of tearing stuff up, changing into other people's forms. Maybe I should play that Castlevania game that came out on the 360. I think you grab their powers in that game too. I don't even want to botch the name of it, but that's for another time. So you find here that if you simply started this little part and flew straight up, you could skip a good chunk of this level. But I found that a little bit too late, so oh well. I'm up here, I don't have any helper right now. So let's get a bonkers helper, and I'll take this sword and see how much damage I can do with that, to myself or to others. So making swift work of that guy, running into the star door. And this is the last screen of the level, which I didn't realize I kind of needed that flame guy, because if you go in that first cannonball, you kind of get turned upside down and shot. So you're kind of trying to spark that flame right there, but you can't do it with a sword. So I gotta get rid of that power, and so of course with my luck I spit it right out. So trying to get this flame power again. There we go. Climbing up the ladders, and I don't think I'm gonna make it in this shot. Nope, I missed it a little bit too late. So let's try this again, not with a dash attack, and move up. So this is gonna be the end of this episode. I don't want to take too much of your time, but thank you so much for watching, and you can kind of catch the last bit with Dynablade here, who's gonna help us get to the halberd. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.